Welcome. I'm Tanya Hyde, proud principal of Fort Sam Houston Elementary. This year, we've had the opportunity to increase learning opportunities for all students, specifically our students with special needs. This year, we embarked upon CoTeach classrooms. It was an initiative that we started last year with pre-K that we've expanded this year from pre-K to 5th grade. Wonderful opportunities for our students have grown from the activities provided by our teacher leaders. We have in each classroom a general ed teacher and a special education teacher. The general ed teacher helps support the rigor of the curriculum, making sure that high expectations are met by all students. The special education teacher is there to support the learning of students that are at risk. This includes our students with special needs and those in our response to intervention models. Both working together have yielded the results of outstanding student achievement. We are so happy to have been a part of this transformational idea, and we know that our students have reaped the benefit. Thank you for joining us as we explore more options available to students in the CoTeach settings.
You have two people working together and think about how you're going to best serve the kids' needs. You're able to bounce ideas off of each other and reflect together and make better decisions for the kids' sake.
You have to be able to give up a little bit of control in that you don't always get to do things your way all the time, and that's okay. But one of them, I think the best part of that is having someone to collaborate with all day long rather than just a period.
All right, guys, so it begins with the...
I think the benefits of working together is we're able to share responsibilities and we're able to work more with students who need individual attention or attention in a small group setting. We're able to pull those away without taking away from the rest of the class. I think that's one of the greatest benefits.
Yeah, I think definitely you kind of play off each other and share ideas, and some things just come real naturally based on your kids, and it's really knowing your kids and knowing how to split them up and what's the best setup for your classroom.
The benefits are being able to work together, being able to share responsibilities, being able to help children when they need it.
Because they might do something for her that they're not doing for me, or vice versa, or I might see something differently than she sees it. It's two sets of eyes.
I love it. I honestly didn't think I'd like it at first, and now I love it. So, and I can't imagine not coming in a parent with daughter. It's very hard when we have sub.
It's great to have another person to bounce things off of, another adult in the classroom. We kind of finish each other's sentences. If one is teaching and the other one's helping a student and this one has to do, we just switch. It's just been great. It's been flowy and meshy, and we're kind of, it's just, we're the same. It's smooth, yeah, we're the same.
Just to be able to bounce off ideas on each other and to be able to like plan together. This is my first year in 2nd grade, so it's been wonderful having Courtney as like almost my mentor. Oh, I know, I'm sweet.
Sweet. One of the challenging things is when you're so used to having your own classroom, your own things, doing things your own way, it's hard to have someone come in and have to put their things into your room and kind of have some input into how you run your classroom, how you run your day. But I think if you're really open, those things kind of work themselves out.
Challenges are just the time to get together, to plan out strategies for children and lesson plans.
Yeah. Even though we're in the room together, it's just time. We don't have that much of it because we're so busy with the kids.
Julie's taught me a lot with how to work with all the kids. It's intimidating to be in a whole classroom. So when you have 20 kids and when you're only used to you know, a few. She taught me how to, you know, just be relaxed and all the kids are okay and this is how you work with all the different groups, and she made it a lot easier than what I thought it would be.
Well, I've learned not to be so stressful when I'm working with kids. Mandy's a lot of fun and she's a lot more laid back than I am, and I've learned to not have everything so planned out that it's easier.
And I really learned a lot of good strategies with some of the kids with special needs, even though I was a special ed teacher. I mean, it's just good to work with so closely with another special ed teacher, because when I taught before, I was just in an environment self-contained by myself.
She is very organized and very punctual, and I'm not. If I'm working with the student, I'll keep working, but she knows the clock, follows the clock, and she's very, very organized. She really keeps me in line. That's one of the things that I really like about working with Mrs. Bear. She just keeps me going in the right direction all day long. It's really good.
And I think for Mr. Sunday, I think a lot of it is he has the student relationships with the kids to make it fun, to make it a game, and also to have a lot of patience. Kind of what you were saying is keeping you on track is also really a positive, because you are taking that extra time and you are spending that extra needed time with the students. So I think definitely that works hand in hand.
Julie is good at the singing and the dancing and the arts and crafts type stuff.
No, you're the arts and crafts person.
Well,
I'm the science worms kind of person.
And so she does all that, whereas I'm really good at the paperwork.
She's awesome at the details. I'm not good at details. No. This was a match made in heaven, because we are opposite and the same.
Yeah.
So.
I wrote my fraction like this for them to rewrite it.
They have commented on how happy their children are when they come home. You know, my child is having the best year ever, was what one parent said, with a little girl who was on the autism spectrum, for example. And these parents were concerned about her not being happy in the classroom. And this year they were extremely delighted with the fact that this little girl has, I guess you could say, come out of her shell. One of the parents actually is a teacher here on this campus and said that you know, her child just wants to marry us both, you know.
You were very close and you still have one more.
I would tell teachers considering it or interested in finding out more about it that it requires an open mind. It requires you to be very flexible, to be able to make changes quickly, because you never know what's going to happen in time-wise and everything else that you have to deal with. And but I think in the long run, the benefits we're seeing, because we're at the end of this year, far outweigh any extra work or planning that has to go into making it work.
You know, if you had asked me at the beginning, did I think that having the CoTeach class and starting with 27 students, and at one point we had 8 identified special needs students, that we would end up with almost 45% of our class commended in reading and math, I would have probably thought, probably not. We're going to do our best, but I don't know if we're going to get there. And so I think that's a good testimony, and you know, I think we deserve to be proud of how this model has worked this year.
The benefit of having more one teacher in the classroom is when one teacher thinks this and another teacher thinks that, and then the students come in and think and tell them what they think, and when they all think together, they come up with a solution.
If you have one teacher and that teacher's busy, you have to do it by yourself, and it's good to have 2 teachers, because it's very fun.
I think it's easier because if I have a question, there's always a teacher that's probably available instead of me have to wait for one teacher. So
Miss Allen's good at telling us what to do in ELA, and Miss Albacini is the math person and she helps us a lot in math.
I think they should keep doing what they're doing, and they're doing a great job.
I think they're the greatest teachers in the world.